Hey folks, I'm Tom Vasel. Welcome as we take a look at another shelf in the Dice Tower library. So today we're taking a look at shelf 19. This is sort of my Ameritrash shelf. There's all kinds of games on here that people either like or hate, sort of. So let's take a look here at the first shelf. We have Relic, which is, well, it's the Warhammer 40k version of Talisman. If you like it, you like it, right? Then we have Wildlands and Judge Dredd, which are actually the same game with different themes. Fantasy and Judge Dredd, very cool games from Martin Wallace. Dire Wind, which is sort of a nice light dungeon crawler. Kingdom Rush, Rifts of Time from Lucky Duck. So Kingdom Rush this one doesn't get played that much because I think it plays very differently than the video game. But it is painted, so that's why it's in the library still. World's Banner Factions. This is the Duel of Ages 3. I like it a lot. I know a lot of other people do. Sniper Elite, the board game, one of the best one versus many games ever. Mice and Mystics, the game that put Plaid Hat in the map. And then a bunch of Plaid Hat games here. So we have Wandering Galaxy, Forgotten Waters, Freelancer. They're all kind of the same thing, using an app to tell a story. Wandering Galaxy is the newest one. We played it and enjoyed it, but we're going to play it some more before we review it. Dead of Winter, of course, very popular game for a while. Haven't seen it played much as such lately. All right, then we have on the next shelf, we have the Starship Samurai, another Plaid Hat game. It doesn't get a lot of love, but it's a really neat game. Then Sentinels of the Multiverse is the newest version of that. And then it's time to talk about Unmatched for a long time here, because we have Tales of a Maze. This is the cooperative version. And then just what I did with Unmatched was I put multiple boxes in the same box. So each of these boxes has more than one copy in it. So you can see that this set, the Unmatched Legends, has Robin Hood versus Bigfoot in it and Battle of Legends. They're in the same one. So there's usually about 2 boxes in each of these. So if you want to play, you pull it out and you have a lot of stuff to play with in one box. Then we have Scooby-Doo, the board game. This is kind of there. It's just a silly game where you're going around and fighting from CMON. Not a lot of people talk about it, but I like it. It kind of a Betrayal on House on the Hill vibes, which is why it's next to Betrayal at House on the Hill, which is next to Betrayal at Baldur's Gate, which is next to Terror Below, which is essentially giant worms coming and you're fighting against them. You've never seen a movie like that, I'm sure. On our next shelf, very popular game, Slay the Spire. And a game that should be popular, Spark Riders 3000, but it's not. But I love it. Merchants and Marauders from Z-Man, and then Cry Havoc. Those are both interesting to me because they were so very popular at various points, and no one really talks about either one of them now, but they're still there. Then we have Firefly the game. That one still gets played next to Spartacus. Again, as I think about all these games, they all have like people who love them and people who don't. Risk 2210, which I just got an expansion for. Tyrants of the Underdark, which is a deck building game with a D&D background to it. Nexus Ops, fantastic. One of the best, monsters on a map style game. Chaos Ball. This is an oldie from Eric Lang. It's kind of a very light version of, like any of those battle football style games. Then a Rise and Fall of Anvar from WizKids. I like this one. Definitely worth checking out. And then Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion. We don't have Gloomhaven in the library per se, so this is the version that we do have. As we continue our Ameritrash, we have, what is this? Castles of Burgundy. It's not an Ameritrash style game, but it fit on this shelf, so that's where it is for now. But then Thunder Road Vendetta, Leviathan Wilds, Old Tree, Level 7. If you never play Level 7, that is essentially XCOM, the board game. This War of Mine, if you ever wanted to cry in the middle of the day. Ascension Tactics, which is amazing. It's not as much like Ascension as you might think. It's really fun. Vengeance. I've not played that one yet. And then a couple games where you fight each other. Ashes Reborn and Summoner Wars, which is starting to get checked out more these days. The Adventurers. This might be the last version of Adventurers. We'll see if the new one ever comes out. But this one is pretty cool. And then finally on the bottom shelf here, we have Scarface 1920. A really big game about mobs in the 20s. Too Many Bones. Next to Monumental, and above Monumental, Townsfolk Tussle. Tonside Tussle is completely painted, so that one looks really great. You should check it out. Battle Ball. If you're ever looking for a unique game to play in the Dice Tower library, this would be that one. Sanctum, which is kind of like Diablo. DEI, another game that doesn't get played a lot, another kind of people on a map game. Isla, and something shiny. This is a very intriguing game. Looks like a kid's game. It's not. It has some pretty deep storytelling to it. And then Defenders of the Realm. So there's kind of a mix here of old and new games. So what's my favorite game on each shelf? Well, on this very bottom shelf, I think it might be Defenders of the Realm. I don't know. I think I'm going to say, but see, Monumental's been replaced. Defenders of the Realm has been replaced for me, both of those. So I'm going to go with Battle Ball. And then on the shelf right above it, well, that's Summoner Wars. I love Summoner Wars. I can't. And then the shelf above that, might be Spark Riders 3000. Actually, I think, but I do like Slay the Spire and Gloomhaven. Spark Riders 3000. And then on the shelf above that, I'm going to say Starship Samurai. And then on the very top shelf, my favorite game there is probably Freelancers. I really enjoy that one. What are your favorites on each of these shelves? Let me know in the comments. But until next time, I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching The Shelves of the Dice Tower Library. Hey folks, thanks for watching another one of our videos. If you like our videos, if you like our channel, you would love to game with us at one of our conventions. Check out Dice Tower Cruise, Dice Tower East, and Dice Tower West. Fantastic conventions where we play games with wonderful people, a humongous library, and lots of other events and stuff. Also, don't forget to check out our channel, like and subscribe. I'm Tom Vasel.